Hello and welcome to the angle I like to call Heather Eats Her Dinner while she tries to film a video to make sure she gets as much done as possible in the day. Welcome to my kitchen. It's a mess, which is why you're as zoomed in as possible on my face. While we're talking about how professional we all are, let's talk about good writing habits we need to have. Writing is not only a hobby, but a habit. If you want to make it a profession, it needs to be something you do every day. Even if it's just a side hustle, it needs to happen on a regular basis. You must make something a habit in order for it to become a regular part of your day. It takes 21 days for something to become a habit and 90 days for it to become a lifestyle. So we're using these little writer's habits in order for it to become a writer's lifestyle to mean we are writers. Because how many times have you gone to someone, oh yes, I'm a writer, or you have been introduced to someone as the writer of the friendship group, and you go, ah yes, I am in fact the writer, when really you have not written for days and you feel like a bit of an imposter in your own skin. Habit number 1, start a blog. Now, this one's a bit of a different one, but I started a blog and that means I write every single day. To make sure I get enough content, I'm always a month ahead on content. So this video that you're watching now was actually filmed in January. So today is the 17th of January and it will go up in later February. I like to be months ahead on content to make sure I'm not drowning in my own stuff. I like to use my blog as accountability for my writing. Every morning I write a blog post and then later on in the day I feel in the mood to actually write something I'm supposed to write. I write about writing on my blog. I will leave the link to my website in the description below. I use Bluehost as my self-hosting platform. That means I look professional. So when literary agents or publishers Google you, the first thing that comes up is your website and it looks nice and professional. None of this free blog business at the end. Bluehost lets you create your own domain name. I do have an affiliate link with Bluehost. I will disclaim that now. It's in the description. The link to my Bluehost affiliate link is in the description. If you click on that link and sign up to Bluehost, that means I get a small commission from your purchase at no extra cost to yourself. So you're not paying me, Bluehost is paying me. You're paying Bluehost the same amount of money that I pay Bluehost, but I get a little bit of money from that purchase, but at no extra cost to yourself. Does that make sense? I work on commission, essentially is what I'm saying. You're not paying any extra money. The company is paying me for vlogging their stuff, but it's really good stuff. Otherwise I won't be recommending it at all. I wouldn't be their affiliate if I thought it was wank, and I wouldn't use it myself if I thought it was wank. With Bluehost, everything is broken down to as little as $2.95 per month for a self-hosting plan, which means you get access to WordPress for free and you get your own domain name at your own right. So my website is heatherlowry.com. Again, link in the description. You can check out my blog post there. It also means I look really professional to anyone who's Googling me. I'm still in the process of setting up my website, so it's a little bit at the moment. But access to Bluehost and WordPress means everything is really, really easy for me to set up and sort out. But the best thing about blogging with Bluehost is it gets you into a daily writing habit, which is what we're here to talk about. Bluehost and blogging has helped me massively when it comes to the amount I am writing. I am writing so much more than I am before because I'm writing about writing, so I get excited about writing to the point where I'm excited about writing my actual book. I write my actual book. I've written so many more words than I would have done beforehand because every day the first thing I do is I wake up, I have my coffee, then I write a blog post before I go to my actual job. I just want to write all day. I'm too excited. I want to write because I'm talking about writing and I love writing, so I write. Set yourself daily writing goals. Like I said, in the morning I write myself one blog post to make sure I have as much content as possible. And not only content, quality content. I am nothing but quality. My blog is full of quality content. My last post is all about boobs and I love boobs. My starting goals start off at 500 words per day. Now that does sound like a lot to a lot of people, but back in my stride, I can write between 1,000 and 1,500 words an hour. So 500 words a day really isn't that much for me. But someone who is starting out, set yourself 500 words to do a day and that will set you in the habit of writing. 500 words is not that much. It's about half a page. So once you get into the habit of writing 500 words a day, do that for a week. The next week, write 750 words a day. The next week, write 1,000 words a day. If 1,000 words a day is enough for you, stick at 1,000 words a day. But keep upping it by 250 words each week you do it. And before you know it, you're knocking out 5,000 words a day. Calendar block your time. My calendar looks like a mess, but it makes sense to me. It's full of color-coded nonsense, but I have a block for when I'm actually working, a block for when I'm promoting my blog on Pinterest, a block from when I have to write a blog post, a block for when I'm filming, when I'm editing, but also a block for when I'm writing, and that is the most important one for me, and I usually get it done before I go to work, because the first thing I do in the morning is usually the most important to me. So 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. I'm doing my morning routine. 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. I'm writing, and I can usually get about 750, 1,000 words done depending on my frame of mind and whether or not I've had my coffee yet. 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. I am writing my blog post, and then I go to work from 8:30 until 5. In my lunch break, I have my lunch break blocked off to make sure I'm actually taking a break from work. 5 till 6, I'm doing a little bit more writing. 6 till 7, I'm either filming or editing, depending on what kind of footage I have done, what I chose to do in the morning, whether or not I wrote a blog post or filmed. Relax in the evening, and I have relaxation time blocked out as well. But making sure that it's on your to-do list, make sure you have the time to do it. So calendar block your time and make sure writing is on there for at least an hour a day. And on that calendar block, make sure you have the amount of words you want to write in that time, because work expands to fill the time you give it. So if you only give yourself an hour to write 1,000 words, you know that you have to write 1,000 words in that hour. Otherwise, it's going to be a mess and it's going to spoil the rest of your target. Save for NaNoWriMo, which is National Novel Writing Month in November, where you have to write about 2,000 words a day to get onto the 50,000 words a month target. If you break down your monthly goal to your weekly goal to your daily goal, you know exactly how much you need to do to make sure you are on target. So in those time blocks, write exactly how much you have to do and hold yourself accountable to it, because you'll get those notifications and before you know it, you're on to the next thing, and it's too late. It's too late. You fucked up your schedule. So make sure you are focused with your time and focus it in your calendar. Write every day. Make sure writing is on your schedule every day, even if you only put half an hour in there. Half an hour to knock out 250 to 500 words. Make sure you are writing every single day. That means before work, during work, after work. I sometimes write during work because there's not a lot for me to do. I'm an intern after all. And I sometimes scribble little ideas in my notebook while I'm getting on with something else. I am always writing. I am writing every day. And to make sure you are writing every day, put it on your to-do list. Start a blog to hold yourself accountable. Start a YouTube channel to hold yourself accountable. Make sure you are writing every day. Carry a notebook everywhere. I always have a notebook in my bag to make sure I can jot down that important idea or the idea for a scene or a little snippet of dialogue I hear throughout the day where I go, ooh, I really need to comment on that, so I need that to be in my story to make sure people know that I have a problem with it and or agree with it. Who knows? Could be either. If you carry a notebook everywhere, you never know when you're going to get a spare 20 minutes to write down the golden idea that could be the key to your next bestseller. Carry something everywhere that means you can continue writing. Download all the apps you need to download on your phone, like a note-taking app, or Google Docs is a brilliant one because it means you can keep updating pieces of work you've been working on for a while. But make sure you are constantly writing every day, have access to writing, and holding yourself accountable. And that is how you get the lifestyle of a writer. Make sure you become a writer, and I will check in with you soon and make sure you're doing it. Let me know what you're doing and how you're implementing writing into your everyday lifestyle, because I could always use some extra tips. See you soon, fellas.